Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Sorry, we're running a little bit behind. Had a little bit of an issue getting things going, but it's all set now. Welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 video. We are on Cane Creek. We are going to take the SD40 this time. So one of the things I was just looking at, we'll get started here in a moment. There's not much as far as taking like a full run from one end to the other. There didn't seem to be many options for that on the AC 4400 for whatever reasons. But we're going to take the SD40 on this evening service from Potash to Thompson. So we're going to get in here, get everything set up. Morning, Pethers. And then we'll be on our way. Oh, that was I didn't expect that. Alright, so we need that on. Get our power handle in. Forward. Get our lights set up. Should go to, there we go, straight. Get our lights on, our lights on. Let's just get a little light in the cab just so we can see, just to make sure we're not missing anything. This should be on. Nope. There we go. Number lights on, engine room lights on, platform lights are on. Let's just have a look at our locomotive. Oh wow, those are some bright number lights, that's for sure. So we've got SD40, SD40. So we've got 3 SD40s on this service. Nice. Alright. Let me make sure we have everything else set up. We won't have banking on, but we might. Is there a. Put the warning devices on, I guess. But there was a switch for distributed fuel, distributed power, but. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, alright. I think we are all set. We'll be underway. Yeah, I really like this route. It is good. It's got its challenges, there's no doubt about that. Now these are all supposedly loaded. We got a couple that are older. Got the actual Union Pacific sort of. Oh, let me make sure we are. Oh, we are. Okay, we're good. I totally should have checked that before we departed. I kind of feel we should be okay on power. You haven't got the train. Well, I just wanted to make sure that we have everything set up. I never move the train until I know all the. I've hit every switch that I possibly can. Bitters, you know that. Come on now. I know you're just taking the piss, but I don't. I try not to move until I know that I. Because that's one of the things that. When you don't run freight, what do you call it? It's easy to forget to check something or whatnot, and then you get you know, then you're not moving at all. And then you know, I've seen it happen. I've done it before. Like it doesn't make sense. I'm just quitting, you know. So I know. But yeah, I because I know sometimes in the past I would forget to change this to lead or dead, and then you know you're driving sluggishly because the brakes aren't in the proper position. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to do. We definitely don't need the heater on. Although I would imagine at this point in the day, it's probably, you know, the sun's down. It's probably a little chillier than it was mid-afternoon. So we've got 3 engines and, well, at least we know the loader on this one works. Yeah, not a long train like what we'd expect with the, you know, sand patch grade with, you know, 25 or more than 25 cars. You know, we've had 40, 50 cars. So yeah, but these are supposed to be loaded, so okay. So the bar will be on the Schnellfaststrecke Cologne to Aachen route. We're going to do a regional express service from Aachen to Cologne, returning to some passenger service. I know freight is not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak. So we'll do a regional express service. That won't take very long. Yeah, I love it. They got the sounds like there's all this traffic on this road, but it's, you've got cars and they speed up and then they slow down. I kind of feel like they're kind of trailing the locomotive. You know, there might be train spotters. They're trying to get pictures as they drive. You know, instead of driving way up the road and parking and getting the pictures, they come around a curve or something. I do too, but you know, it is slow. It can be a bit, you know, tedious. So yeah, I like to mix it up. I would do freight on Cologne to Aachen, but the freight layers are just really terrible. It takes forever to get the train moving. Like, it's almost like even though you're on a flat surface, it like does this back and forth thing before you can finally, it's like you got to get it over like a small hump or something. So yeah, it's a pain in the butt. So now Mela said she would be here. Mick's supposed to be here. I'm sure he's kind of still waking up or whatever, so. Well, at least we know the lights on the number lights here work. Boy, those are really bright, very easy to see. So we're going to go through that via location at the Brindle Yard main line. Way up yonder. And then we're going to pull in right over here. I'm sure just like we did before. And that will conclude our stream. I can see him on the PlayStation app in the middle of the... Well, I don't think Amella's up, even though she did said she's going to set an alarm. Yeah, Mick said he was going to be here too. No, it is what it is. Somebody is watching on Twitch, so if you're on Twitch, welcome. Oh, don't worry about it, Pithers. It's okay. You know, he might be checking some stuff before he pops in here. It's not the end of the world. He'll get here when he gets here. So it's fine. Oh, he is on Twitch. That's okay. Hey, good morning, Mick. Welcome. I just saw him pop up on Twitch. There he is. How are you, Mick? The Mixter is in the house. Really enjoyed watching you play FIFA last night and all the requisite moaning that went along with it. I sent a message to Abella too. She said she was going to set an alarm, but she may, you know, I know she's been, you know, that's fine. It's okay, Pithers, honestly. They get here when they get here. I'm doing good. Got up this morning, had my coffee, and or made my cup of coffee, and just still working through that. And yeah, I know, huh? Yeah, I watched you, and then I watched Joe and his voice chat for a little bit. Len was there. We were having a good laugh, talking about the good old days on the farm and stuff. And yeah, he did a trip all the way to... Oh, he wanted to get to Istanbul. I know that. I can't remember where he stopped at last night. But he got a delivery there, but he was going to do a trip from wherever he was to Istanbul, and then eventually he wants to go from Istanbul to Spain, I think. It's okay. It's fine. It's, you know, if he prefers to be there, that's okay. I'm okay with it. It's not a big deal. I mean, I prefer everybody to be on one platform, but if Mick's more comfortable on Twitch, that's his prerogative. So it's quite all right. I know, Pithers. I mean, it was fun. We had a good laugh. I think that's the first time I've actually been able to talk to Glenn, and so yeah, we were having. Oh, it was hilarious. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, said hi to Amanda for a little bit. She was there, although she was struggling at the end. I think she was struggling to stay awake. Yeah, we had a good laugh, and but yeah, Joe's really likes the ETS2 and all that. But I think even by the end, when he got to his destination, even he was starting to struggle a little bit. He was starting to get tired. So, but no, it was fun. Oh, here we are. There he is. Yeah, we're just we are. Oop, I want that to go off and get. Mick, after streaming, you're going across my knee. Oh. It's okay. Honestly, but it's fine. I know people have other things in the morning sometimes, or people are tired, and that's all good. So it's quite all right. So yeah, we're doing 3 SD40s this morning, Mick, to the yard out here in Thompson. We're gonna go via here, and then we'll pull into our stopping point just like last time. There doesn't seem to be many services where you're going to go, like the full route. It's only parts of it, it seems. Morning, Amela. How are you? That's fine, Nick. No worries. You gotta do your thing, you gotta do your thing. It's perfectly fine. I'm not upset one way or the other, so don't worry about it. You do what you gotta do. I'm good, Amela. After we got done with Joe's voice chat stream last night, I got back on the game, the game. That other game. And ran around with my group mates, and we had a good laugh, and yeah. One guy does a darn near perfect impression of Donald Trump. It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing, to be honest. Oh, he had it nailed. So yeah, we had a good time. I know, Mick, honestly, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. I know you've got things going on there. I know you come in when you're ready to. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to worry about it with me. Never. And if you don't make it, you know, it is what it is. I know you'll watch it on the replay, so you know, don't ever worry about it. If you know, if family duties require your attention, that's wow, they're when they're from the United States, Amela. It's so in Division 2, one of the things that they instituted was you could create a clan. And I've been in clans before on the game, and sometimes it can be very ugly after a while, or if you know, if you are one of the things me and one of the guys were talking about yesterday, that some people get kind of cliquish, you know, only like the clan, you know, whoever started the clan, maybe they prefer only play with a few people. They won't never play with anybody else, and so people feel left out, that sort of thing. And one guy told me, he said, look, if anybody ever picks you from the group, from the, you know, like if you want to play with anybody in the clan and they won't allow you in, you let me know and we'll sort them out. And so they're very, you know, yeah, they're pretty welcoming. It was just, I wasn't streaming it. It's just in the game. It's a group I belong to, and I didn't even, you know, expect it last night. But yeah, we were running around just wrecking stuff, and he was just doing these impressions of Trump, and I was like, wow, it was pretty funny. So yeah, so far they're a group of people. You know, I'm enjoying the game again. Even it's not perfect. It probably never will. And part of that just may be the pandemic. They're in a situation like Dovetail where the amount of effort that they're trying to do things outside of the office is a lot harder than they expected. So, yeah, Glenn, glad to see you here. You know, if you're all coming in, please do leave a thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. As Joe and Richard like to say, it all does help out. What it helps, I honestly don't know, but apparently it does. So, if you're coming in, please do leave me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. So, glad to see you in here, Glenn. Really enjoyed chatting with you last night in Joe's voice chat. That was a good laugh. Really enjoyed it. Close up here to this 15 mile an hour. There should be no. And you could tell the lovely Natasha we all said hello as well, Glenn. Hello from America. Yeah, it was, Glenn. It was a hoot. I have to admit, that was really, we had a good time last night. I really enjoyed that. I needed that laugh. Yeah, that was fun. But it was good to talk to you finally. Yeah, her name was brought up in the voice chat last night, and so yeah, So Glenn can extend Natasha a hello from the United States on my behalf. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had a good time last night. Really enjoyed it. And it was nice to be able to actually talk to you, Glenn, because I hear you've been on the farm with Joe and Pete. And I've always wanted to be in the chat with you guys when you're on the farm. But I think Pither says there's a way you can do it with the PlayStation Network app. So he said differently. Pithers, he hasn't gotten to any bases with Natasha. Now, if he has, that's his business. I don't know. Yeah, he. But she sounds like a lovely person, from what Glenn said about her. So. Yeah, we sure did. We were reminiscing about the days of Lucy in the chat on a Sunday farm sim stream. Oh, I was laughing so hard. That was too funny. We told Joe to extend an invite to Joe to return to the farm. We like to see him in action again. It's been a while. Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time with that. It was good. I enjoy. Yesterday was a nice afternoon / evening. I enjoyed watching Mick in his FIFA, and then watching Joe on his voice chat stream. That was fun, and then running around with my new clan mates. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's Joe. If Joe's streaming, it's his decision. But I mean, and Glenn's right. He does bring fun into the chat at his own expense. You know, so yeah, it'd be nice to have him back. Quite honestly, I don't think he streamed it all. I don't know. Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I think everybody would, well, with the exception of Pithers, would be, you know, really happy to see Joseph back in the stream. Being in the chat is one thing, but, you know, if you were one of the people who played, maybe he was saying about, hopefully not, because Zoe would probably wring his neck. I know that was one of the things after a while, like one of the times he was in the stream, somebody mentioned Lucy and he got very upset about it because he felt that Zoe would have I know Pithers, but it'd be nice to see him, quite honestly. I know he's not your cup of tea either, but I think everybody would have fun if he did come back, even for one stream. Yeah. Yeah. I think climbing up the hill here. Oh, look, we just left here. It doesn't seem like we've gotten very far. That's for sure. It'd be nice to see him, I think. I think we'd all really, well, not all of us, but the vast majority of us would it'd be kind of like old times. And that's the thing, I think, is that's what we were kind of talking about, those Sunday streams and all that. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's been on GT Sport either. It seems kind of like he's given up everything for Zoe, and you know, I don't necessarily think that's a healthy thing. Well, yeah, but Pithers, you got. I mean, that's his choice. Part of it is, and Mick will know exactly what I'm talking about here, and I think I've even told Richard the same thing. When you go beyond a certain amount of time, people are going to start to lose interest. They're going to come in for 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour tops. If you're streaming for 2-3 hours, people are going to start to get kind of bored. So for him, and maybe that's part of it too for him, is that he preferred that amount of time because then he can focus on very specific things. You know, so I think that's and part of that is I learned that in radio production class. Like if you're doing the interview, you break it up into 250. If you're going to be on there, yeah. If you're interviewing somebody, for instance, like if I'm talking to Amila about her job, for instance, right? I'm interviewing her about that. I don't want to do it 30 minutes straight through. If I break it up into 2 15-minute segments, people are going to pay more attention to that than sitting there for 30 minutes because they're going to be like, oh, they're just kind of droning on. I'm not getting anything meaningful out of this. But if you break it up into segments. So I think that's what Joe's smart that way. He breaks things up into segments. I know it sets you off, Pithers. You prefer to be on there for hours on end, but that's just, you know, he has other things he wants to do. He, you know, plus he, you know, get outside and sit in the garden. You know, and yeah, he wants to spend time with Amanda now that, you know, he can see her more often than last year, or, you know, during the lockdown. So, I mean, he's young. He wants to get his life back to normal as much as we all want to get back to normal. So, you know, it's fine. And it's nice that Amanda's willing to come in sometimes, and, you know, we were talking about that. When is Amanda going to be on ETS2? Or when is Amanda going to be on the farm? You know, I was telling, I said, yeah, I'd like to see Amanda on the farm because she would definitely give Pithers a run for his money. So, yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, I mean, an hour. You know, certainly if he did a route like this on Train Sim World 2, yeah, you can't control the time. I mean, yeah, you could try to get to the other end very quickly. You're speeding, but you know, but you're missing off in all this beautiful detail. You know, why would you want to rush through that? Amela going 60-something miles an hour. Yeah, I think she would be willing to do it, and you know, props to her for being willing to be a part of that. You know, most people, their partner may not want to share in that, or you know, and that's unfortunate. But you know, she's willing to do that, and that's good. I mean, I don't think I'd ever meet somebody who would be willing to sit and play Train Sim World 2 with me, you know, or I'd teach them how to play it. It's just on a stream. Excuse me. Yeah, it would be good. I'm guessing that Tasha is the favorite person. Yeah, exactly, Nick. I know, like, yeah, you and Pulse both were, you know, you guys try not to speed, you don't try to break any of the rules or whatever. And, I mean, because plus, on that game, you get fined. So you're losing money. And you may make a little bit at the end, but it's not covering your, you know, goals of getting more money so you could buy a different truck or fix up the one you have or whatever. I try not to speed just because it's, I mean, sometimes you can't help it if you know, you put the brakes on and things just aren't slowing down, then yeah, but even then I feel kind of bad, like I'm not operating the train correctly. We don't want to have a repeat of the broken horn like last Union Pacific stream that I did on Sunday. Hello, Whitney! Welcome! Well, thank you. Greatly appreciate that. How are you? No, I don't think Amela does either. Joe, well, to be fair, Joe does this. And so you can't really tell unless you're, you know, and usually he's in the cab. You know, and there's our speedometer right there. So that's the only way we can tell if he's speeding. But you'd have to know the route, speed limits to know that he's speeding. So, well, welcome, Whitney. Glad you're here. Thank you for coming in. I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I do appreciate you coming in and saying hello and subscribing. Always nice to see you in a stream. So we are taking... We've got 3 SD40s here at the front. We're taking these loaded cars all the way over there. We're going through here and stopping over here on the lovely King Creek in Utah. So, yeah. Tomorrow we'll be on about the same time. We're going to be on the Schnellfreststrecke Köln to Aachen. We're going to do a regional express service from Aachen to Köln. I do reckon we should all chip in and get Amela a train driving lesson so she doesn't keep overshooting. Or Rob, you could teach Amela to slow down. Well, I don't think that would really go anywhere. There's, Amela's her own person. She's gonna speed regardless of what I say. So, but that's okay. I see parts of Moab when watching a trucking YouTube. Yeah, I mean, it's a really beautiful area. And some people say it's, kind of Mars-like in its setting, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's I mean, a lot of people come here. A lot of landscape photographers come here for, obviously the color of the sun on the rocks. And, yeah. I mean, if you were a train spotter, I mean, this would be an incredible place to come and train spot, like with the scenery and everything. But I would do it either in the early morning, just as the sun's coming up, or in the evening as the sun's going down, kind of like this. This would be some really beautiful photography, I think, especially as the sun on the rocks, in that golden hour sort of thing. I have the time, because there's, quite honestly, it's one, as Sam and the guys from Dovetail and the whole group there have said, Sam I know has said it, and I think Adam said it, and so has Natalie and Adam. Who else is there? Matt. You play the game how you want to play it. So, some people prefer to speed. That's their prerogative, So, yeah. But I have helped Amela before when she was trying to figure out how to set up the brakes on Cane Creek. I did a quick video. Well, good, Pithers. You're getting what you want. I mean, but that's I mean, when I honestly, I could watch a farm sim stream for about an hour or so, hour and a half tops. Anything beyond that, I start to lose interest, because it's just, I prefer to watch all the harvesting and all that, and then, the next stream, you guys do a lot of setup work in between the streams, and that's a good thing. You plot out your next course of action, so to speak. So, yeah. I think Whitney, is Whitney still here, or did she drop out? Yeah, nice to have a nice group of people come in and hang out for a little bit. If Glenn's still here, he might have had to go to get back to work. Yeah, I know you do, Pithers, and I'm sure he appreciates that. It does help, I think, the stream overall move along. Uh, you know, so that you guys can get in there, you can get stuff harvested. You know, kind of like what you did the other day. You went in there and got the time thing going so that come morning time, you know, once the stream went live, you guys were able to get in there and start harvesting right away. So, yeah. Oh, 5 likes. I'm not going to do the old, can we get to 10? No, I know I don't have enough people in to get to 10, but that's okay. I greatly appreciate even the 5 likes. Well, you know, when they were talking about this route coming out, and they, you know, these massive, you know, I was expecting higher percentage grades than what we have in Sandpatch grade, or even what do you call it, Clinchfield. You know, the way they made it sound like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to struggle. And it's not been too bad, actually. We've not had any like wheel slip or anything like that. The power's pretty good overall. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go, Mick. Are you streaming that? I'm guessing you and Pulse will be on that tonight. There, Mick. FIFA. I used, honestly, Mick, years ago, I did play FIFA for a little while. And that was like in the early 2000s. Yeah, I did play. Yeah, a long farm. I did play that before, and it was. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I could see the frustration, like you were saying, Mick. A lot of the. Now, I never played multiplayer because I think back then most of those games didn't have a multiplayer aspect to them, and only recently, and that does. Yeah. He sure does, Pithers. You're right about that. He was doing that last night, and that's what got us laughing. So yeah, I played it before. You know, a lot of those games became more about multiplayer than anything else, and but I could see where, you know, like you've been saying on there, that a lot of those people that play that game are paid by EA to play it. They're quote unquote experts at the game, to a point that it takes the fun out of going in there and playing against them. So yeah, I can completely understand that. We're going to coast down the hill here. So I know it goes downhill, and then I think in the distance there we're going to go back uphill. We're just going to let gravity do its thing. No, but you could burn the food, Amela, or always drop it on the floor. That Yeah, you could do that. But yeah, Mick, we will probably get on that next week to show people need to sort out all this. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that. You guys do the co-op championship or whatever it is. Yeah, she could do that too, Glenn. You're right. She probably could or would. Instead of a bowl, she's like, "Oh, we got to serve the soup." Grabs a plate and just pour. Oh no, this isn't a soup bowl. Yeah, because she grabbed the wrong one with the. Yeah, I agree, and that's one of the things that I've heard many many players who just want to go in and have fun. They don't want that that level of, that those people go in and they're just, all they do is just wreck people basically, and it's just not fun. And I've brought that up before about other games, and people seem to have this mindset that if you're asking for that, that there's that you're just not playing well, or you're just complaining. You need to quote unquote get good. Well, how can you get good when the game kind of seems stacked against you? It's just not fun. So yeah, I don't quite understand that. So I don't know, Pithers. I'll tell you what, Amela being from New York, I bet you if you went there to face her face to face, she would not fight fair. You'd be on the floor before you knew it. Quite honestly. One thing you know, New Yorkers do not fight fair if they get in a fight. I say. Yeah. Amela would pull every dirty trick out of her sleeve, and that would be that. And then she'd dump you off in the Bronx. And that would be it. Oh, she's streaming too. No, she wouldn't stream it. The only thing she would stream, you'd see Pithers at the airport, and Bella be like, "Oh, welcome to New York, Pithers," and then that would be it. The thing is, we got such a big variety of games we play, just don't have enough time to be experts. Yeah, you're right, Mick. That's true. Kind of talking about the, I've been in clans in Division 2 where it's just they have, well, your gear scored this, or, you've got this patch, and how come you don't know? Or, it was like that in Destiny. Your character level's this, and you're playing like a complete idiot, blah, 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 blah. So... so people always tend to think just because, and like the guys I was playing, they're like, "Look, got any questions? Because you've not played the game in a while. We're more than happy to answer them. We're glad you're here. We're so that makes the difference. Not that I ever expect to be an expert at Division 2. I don't feel like I'm an expert on Train Sim World 2. So, um, you know, I just try to do the best I can and have fun. But some people, they take the competitive part of it so seriously that they essentially ruin it for everybody else. You know, I gotta be at the top of the leaderboard. And I used to be that way when I first played Division 2. Or, yeah, you know, because if you're part of a clan, they have like a leaderboard. So, and oh, I gotta be the number one person. It's not very healthy, you know. So, I had to figure out a way to not care about that sort of thing. And just play to have fun. But some people, they get so competitive about it that it gets ugly after a while. But yeah, I'm glad you got 2 hours out of them, Pithers. You know. I mean, yeah, it was. I think it was even a big thing for him to do all those, to do the 8 hours like a regular train driver on Cathcart Circle. And yeah, you're right. The GT Sport, Forza 7, yeah, it brings out an ugly side, and that's. I think multiplayer in general brings out an ugly side in people. And that's something, you know, people want multiplayer in this game. I don't want it because it's going to bring an ugly side out of people. And it may also destroy friendships. You know, I've seen that happen. So yeah, if there's a way to play like just a fun multiplayer, not super competitive, just come in, you know, if you lose, you lose, you know, but if you're getting blown out, then yeah, it just kind of makes it feel like, well, why am I even doing this? Yeah, but see, the thing is also, Amanda, you know, she's her own person. She has things that she may want to do while Joe's streaming. Part of that is she's in the chat saying hello to everybody. Also, oh, no. Come on now. All right. I thought I lost the stream there for a moment. It's starting to... crap. Eric House, what are you doing to me? Okay. All right. Anyway, but yeah, that's I think a challenge though too, is that she's got her own things to do, and she may not have 2 hours. That's something else that people don't always consider. I'm sure she would come in for maybe 45 minutes or whatever, but that may be the most that you get out of her. Yeah, I'm still here. It froze up. It was starting to kind of buffer, and it said if I didn't get the... So I think there might have been something... Tomorrow is going to be Schnell, Fostrecke, Cologne to Aachen. We're going to do regional passenger service from Aachen to Cologne. Yeah, I'm only doing one thing on here, or one route a day. I don't have the. I'm not going to try to do 2-3 routes a day or whatever. You know, one stream is enough, I think. Yeah, it was like all of a sudden it was buffering, and then I get a thing saying that if it doesn't, I think it's on Aircast's end, that something happened, and they were, it said if I didn't get things going again that the stream would end. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Snalfastrekker Kolndaaken, or Snalfastrekker, whatever it's called. That'll be tomorrow morning around about the same time. We'll get in there, get everything set up, and we'll be on our way. And yeah. Get back to some passenger service, since the last time we did passenger was on Peninsula Corridor. So yeah. I'm just doing a service on this route. Now on the other. Oh, you're on the AC 4400. Yeah, I like that. I was hoping there was going to be more, service, kind of like what we're doing now from Potash to Thompson. But there's not much there, unless I'm just not seeing it or reading it correctly. But driving basically from one end of the map to the other, there's not many services. So yeah. But that's okay. We'll go with what we got, and eventually one of the streams on here will be the loading of the coal cars, I guess, or whatever. So no, I mean, Pithers, just, if you want to come into the voice chat, come in and hang out and just say hello or whatever. It doesn't mean you have to write. I mean, we do voice chat. We don't write anything. There's no text messaging. So let us come in and hang out. We had a good laugh. It's nice. It's usually a small group of people that come in and hang out and talk with Joe. If you want. I mean, Glenn was there because he wasn't ready to go to sleep, I guess. Yeah. So. So, yeah. Just because you're on the Discord doesn't mean you always have to type stuff. I'm on Discord and I don't, well, I mean, I don't know. But if you don't say anything, then I mean, what, they can't really complain. I mean, they can complain, but if there's nothing that they can say, oh, you know, he said X, Y, and Z, and I meant A, B, C, or whatever, then, you know, they got nothing. I mean, I'm on Joe's Discord, and I stay in the members area. I don't go in general chat. You know, I pay for that privilege. Well, I mean, but people are always going to find something to complain about. You know, that's the thing. And, you know, just like Mr. Adams is not your cup of tea, you're not the cup of tea for a lot of other people. It is what it is. You know, you are who you are. You're your own person, and that's how it goes. And some people can't handle that. I mean, some people were probably going to leave anyway. They just look for a convenient excuse. You know, they weren't getting much out of being on the Discord, or whatever. So it was a convenient thing for them. They just used you as an excuse. You know, yeah, there's people who get bothered by Mr. Adams being on the Discord. You know, I'm sure there's people who are bothered by me being on the Discord. I mean, I know, but you know, Joe handles things fairly well, I think. Even though he's young, he knows you. I think he's one of those people. He accepts you for. Oh man. You know, he accepts you for you. You know, he knows you have your flaws and everything. And yeah, it's just if people can't accept him accepting you for who you are, then that's on them. That's not on you. But it's funny. You know, I try to accept everybody for who they are, flaws and all. And sometimes it's a challenge. And sometimes, you know, I just have to forgive people and say, well, you know, that's just the way the world is. You know. Oh, there you go, Whitney. Absolutely. You could come in and assume me. You know, nobody would know, and you don't have to say anything in the general chat or anything. You know, you come in and just have a laugh and all that. Or you could be the new Fry and Laurie, Glenn. You and Bithers. I've seen clips of that show on YouTube. I never, you know, it was not imported over here to the United States. But yeah, always some funny clips with those two. No Glenmore, Rodney, and Del Boy. I mean, I never knew, because, you know, Hugh Laurie was not well known here in America until he was on House, and I didn't know that he was from the UK. and that he actually had done comedy before. You know, because House, he played a very serious role. Yeah. So it was good. But seeing him and Stephen Fry as a comedic pair is quite interesting. This nice sun's down. Oh, we're by the airport now, I do believe. So it'll definitely be pretty dark by the time we get to the Brindle Yard main line. We still got quite a ways to go. It says 14 miles, but that's as the train flies, straight line. So I think we've got a little bit more than that. Let's see, yeah, the Canyonlands Field Airport, right there. Now, it would be kind of cool to see maybe a plane take off or land or whatever. Be kind of interesting. But I know that's one of those layer things that may make things a little bit more crazy in the game. I have been watching some folks on Twitch who play flight sim. One guy was in a Eurofighter yesterday, crashing in Ireland for whatever reason. That's his thing. He likes to just crash. So, Bella, I think you found somebody in the UK who would you would kind of be. You definitely be twins. You know, he likes to just crash on purpose, it seemed. So, yeah. Chris does that a lot, crashes. By the way, FarmCon is coming up soon. Keep an eye on Giant's Twitch page. Okay. I didn't know Giants has their... I mean, I'm guessing most of these places have their own Twitch pages now to get audience interaction and get people excited for the new game or whatever. But yeah, there was some guy... I was just looking around on Twitch yesterday just for people who play flight sim, and yeah, it was. I found this. It was one of the first ones I found. This guy he's like crashing in Ireland, and he takes off in the Eurofighter and he's flying around and all this stuff, and then boom, he goes right in the ground. It was like weird. The plane didn't like crash like you would expect. It did like this weird cartwheel kind of thing, and then he took off. And I'm just like, what in the world? But I found a couple streamers who are like legit. You know, they've got like this nice setup. Like one guy, he shows a video over his shoulder, and he's got like 3 different monitors. He's got his Twitch monitor that has his Twitch stream open, so you can watch the chat. He's got his main setup, you know, with the screen and everything, like the cockpit, and then another one for whatever he needs that for. let out more. Okay, cool. Nice feathers. Thank you. Have to keep an eye out for that. I feel like I got an eye out on all kinds of stuff, and it's just, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I don't know how. I think in 12 days is when we get Flight Sim on the Xbox. I don't quite know what to expect on that. I'll get it downloaded. I don't know that really trying to play the game with the controller is going to be how that's going to work. I honestly don't know. But eventually I'd like to get a throttle, a set of pedals, and a flight stick for the game. I do need I'm sure I'm going to need a keyboard as well. So I know who Xbox console. Yeah, well, I know, Pithers, you don't particularly care for Xbox. It is what it is. It's just that, it's nice to have Flight Sim come to the console, because not all of us could put together a massive gaming PC. But I honestly, if I have the means to do it, I may not get a PlayStation. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's probably better with some of the games that I'm really more interested in now, and you could play, this game on a PC. I was the reverse. I used to play PlayStation. I was a PlayStation fanatic, and then I just felt like there was more new and interesting things on Xbox, and so I made the switch. And again, part of it too is no matter what I do, whether if I put together a gaming PC, or if I put together or buy a PlayStation 5 or even a 4, I have to factor in the cost of. No, it's just a better option because there's more games. That like I could play Train Sim or Train Sim World 2 on a PC. I could play Flight Sim on a PC. But the thing of it is that there's a cost involved. And I have to weigh all the costs. Even if I buy a PlayStation, I have to. All the games, I have to buy Farm Sim again, I have to buy PlayStation or Train Sim World 2 again. I have to, if you guys want me to play GT Sport, I have to buy that. Even though, some things are on sale, but, that's all stuff that I have to consider. So, but yeah, I mean, people, the amount of money that they spend on all this stuff, now I know, Pithers. It's either way, I have to weigh the cost of all of it, and even if I buy all the Flight Sim stuff to play it on Xbox, I honestly, I don't know what to expect when the game comes out on console. But there's, I'm watching it. It's very immersive. I'm watching these guys play on PC. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. But they've invested thousands and thousands of dollars to put together their rig, so to speak. They're not like in a flight chair and all. They're at a computer desk basically. And but it was just amazing to watch. They were going through all the buttons and everything. I was watching one guy land last night. And I don't remember where he was going, but yeah, it was just really amazing. And you know, but I don't know. I'm guessing we're going to have the same level of stuff in the console game, but in order to make it more, just like Joe, playing a racing game with a controller, yeah, you can do it, but you're probably not going to be as competitive. Yeah, we're on this long straight here, kind of. So yeah, people get the racing wheel to be more competitive. Or Joe uses it for ETS and ATS and on the road and a bunch. I think he even uses it for the farm. So, well, I mean, some people do, and some people are okay with that. But some people, like look at what Jason's stuff. He's got like the whole racing seat and the whole setup. But that takes money. You have to. That's a huge investment. That's true, Vic. He does. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So, but not everybody can afford all that either. It takes time to put all that together, unless you have a good job and you can buy a lot of that stuff right off the bat. So, yeah, he does, and he's able to do all that, and that's quite impressive. But the average person, it would take quite a while to build all that stuff up, and which means you may not be able to play the game right away until you have all the necessary gear, or you feel that you've got enough to do a proper go at it. Alright, we're almost at our via point. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Well, and some people, the tricky part is, so a lot of people got it on the ground floor on YouTube, and they were creating content. They got people, they set up PayPal and whatnot. Yeah, and then they got sponsorship. Yeah, so a lot of people were making a lot of money on YouTube. But what happens is, I think people have this expectation that they spend a week or so on YouTube and suddenly they're going to be famous and all that. I don't expect, I've got maybe 50, almost 60 subscribers. I'm not going to be a millionaire on YouTube, and I know that. I don't expect to have 3,000 subscribers. Would it be nice? Yeah. Is it reasonable to expect that? No. Because look how, Joe spent years building that up. And also, anybody who's got 1,000 or close to 1,000, a lot of people spend a lot of time, and I'm sure Jason spent a lot of time creating his brand. And that's for a lot of it is what it is you're creating your brand. And some people are very successful at it, and some people struggle, they get frustrated because they're not getting much out of it. Instead of saying, in photography is a very similar thing. A lot of people to go out and take photographs, nobody's giving them any, yeah, exactly. You're exactly right, Nick. I went through a period of time where, people weren't liking my photos, I wasn't getting a lot of views or whatever, and I felt kind of like put off by it. Instead of saying, well, I'm going to go out and take pictures. If people like them, they do. If they don't, that's, it is what it is. I enjoy it. I enjoy making the photos, whether it's on film or digital. and you know, I share it, and some people are going to like it, and some people are going to kind of go like, I looked at it, but it just didn't really appeal to me. You know, and YouTube is a very similar thing. You have a wide variety of people who stream games, and so there's a wealth of content out there. So how do you separate yourself if you're even semi-serious about this, or just even having fun? How do you separate yourself from everybody else that's going to attract people to come and watch your stream? You know, and a lot of people, yeah, you come in and it's fun and lighthearted, but even that at some point gets ruined because you're always going to have one person who's going to come in and start fussing about the stream or what's said in the chat or whatever, even though, you know, they may know, or there's a warning that says, hey, you know, this is adult content. People may drop the F-bomb here or there, or, you know, like the one streamer who was crashing in Ireland, you know, it has a warning before you go in there. It says this is mature content. You know, you don't have to enter. If you click, you understand that it's going to be mature content, then you don't really, to me, you don't have any right to complain because you were warned ahead of time. But yeah, I don't expect to have thousands and thousands of followers, you know, because I think if I get to that point, my laugh on stream attracts people. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Yeah, you're exactly right. That is a very valid point. It does. You know, even when you and Pulse were playing that the Story of Us game, I think, or the Two of Us, or whatever it was called, the Broken Family video game, I guess you could call it. You know, you kind of took, you know, you made a joke out of it, but you were, I think, also serious too, that, you know, hey, it's going to get kind of teary-eyed here in a moment, you know. So you understood that was an aspect of the game that people needed to be aware of as well. And, you know. But yeah, there a lot. The other thing too is that you can become a very popular YouTuber, Twitch streamer, whatever, and all it takes is somebody to think that you said something inappropriate or hateful or whatever, and your livelihood is ruined as well. So there's two sides of the coin, you know, when it comes to being on these streaming services. People may take issue with something you said or whatever, and they find a way to ruin you for that, instead of just saying, well, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, and you don't have to watch my stream. What was this? Cooper Ridge. Okay. You know, nobody's forcing you to come in. Just like people who don't like Sandpatch Grade, they'll come into Richard or Joe's stream talking about Sandpatch Grade. Well, I hate. Well, then why are you even here? It says right in the description that I'm on Sandpatch Grade. But yet you're clicking on it. You're here viewing it. You know, I guess you can't hate it that much. So yeah, that's. Some people, they don't like something, they see somebody playing it, and I better let somebody know that I don't like this particular route. Well, nobody needs to know that. Nobody cares. But we made it work from funny to semi-serious, and yeah, you're right, Mitt. Yeah, it was funny, and even when it was starting to get a little serious, you tried to take the edge off and have a little bit of a joke. You know, yeah, I think you did a phenomenal job with that. I don't think everybody would have No, lots of people wouldn't have done that. They would have been like, oh, you know. Most people probably wouldn't have never even picked up that game. But, you know, I think it was an interesting choice. Something different. So, we were almost... We're getting there. Oop. We're almost there. Our via point. Yep, it's really dark now. Oh, look at that starry sky. Now, see, that I could believe out here in the middle of who's making tea. I don't know. I guess you are, Withers, since you brought it up. First one to ask is the one that's got to make it. I don't think Amela could be bothered. Oh, he's playing the bus. Okay. Oh, Mela is making it. I didn't think she could be bothered to make it. I thought she would say, not me. Well, I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out on this run on Cane Creek. I will have to try to take the Union Pacific AC 4400 on I stick to beer. We're not aiming to be top of the world, but to bring people in for a variety of games to get people involved, like we're chatting in the same room and share the fun. Yeah, exactly, Nick. I agree with that. I appreciate that. And that's what I try to do too, even though like I said, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea either, and that's okay. You know, people will come in and hang out if they want, and if they don't want to, that's perfectly fine. I stick to beer. Who was I talking to about? I think it was when I was in Roanoke, Virginia. Somehow we got to talk. There's a beer that's made in a town called Shiner, Texas. Called Shiner Bock, and it's really good. The first time I had it was when I was in San Antonio for medic school. And because I was prior service, I had a little bit more freedom than well, in theory I was supposed to have a lot more freedom than first time listees, but we went to a place called Joe's Crab Shack, and I tried Shiner Bock for the first time, and I think somebody, my Uber driver, we were talking about Shiner Bock, and I'm pretty sure it was in when I was in Virginia. So we were talking about it. Yeah. I haven't had one in quite some time. If I have a beer, I walk to the gas station next door and I get one of the tall cans of beer. I mean, it's not the greatest stuff, but you know, they have a small selection. But in theory, I'm not supposed to be drinking at all because of my fatty liver disease. But some people suggested if you have like one, you know, here or there, that's not too bad. It's if you start drinking excessively, then it becomes an issue. So yeah, I shouldn't be drinking at all, to be honest. But I do miss a good beer. I miss German beer, especially. That 5 miles, it's got to be more than that. You know, that's, yeah, it is, exactly, Glenn. I mean, I remember the first time when I got to Germany, I turned 19, went to a German bar for the first time, had a German, I'd never drank, you know, like that. And I mean, well, I had drinks before I was 21, but that was like on the down low. That's a whole other story. I'll tell it tomorrow, matter of fact, because we're coming to the end here. It's a good story. But yeah, I had I think I didn't even halfway into that beer. Oh, I was, woo, yeah. I was in La La Land. Yeah, German beers are, especially there. I don't know that they have the same alcohol content on sale here, but yeah. Ooh boy, there was some strong beer. But yeah, I'll tell you a drinking story tomorrow when we're on the regional express service from Aachen to Cologne. That'll be a good story. Mick will get a good laugh out of that. Tune in next time, folks. Yeah, I have stories. But I guess everybody went over to watch Joe. I know Joe's on the bus. I've got like only 2 viewers right now. It says. Oh well. Yeah, I do have my stories, but yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. About yeah, I don't want to spoil it. It's a good one. So bus. Well, I mean, I know Joe's just trying a lot of different things, and I do respect him for that. He's trying different games, showing, because it's an alternative to bus sim. So I do respect that about him, that he is trying different things. And matter of fact, well, you guys were there. I asked him about what happened to the SnowRunner. He was really amped about that game, and then he just kind of like disappeared from the channel. I mean, he's got the. I'm sure a lot of it is just that he's either gotten enough donations that he's able to try different games, or people are you know, getting him codes for it to let him showcase it and see if it gets more sales. And sometimes that works. That's a very good marketing strategy, I think, for a lot of these game companies. They find somebody young like him who may get people interested in a game like The Bus, and you know, it may lead to sales. Who knows? I've never played it, Mick or Glenn. Yeah, it's just not my thing. You know, but I enjoyed watching him play it. Because part of it's just solving the, you know, how do you get to one location to the next? You know, you got to go get all this stuff, and you got to build a bridge, or you know, you got to take this river. Okay, well, can you cross the river safely? You know, so I like that aspect of it, but it just wasn't. It's not a game that I would buy. You know, but I appreciate the fact that you know, I could watch him play it and say, well, yeah, I'm enjoying watching him play, but I wouldn't spend money on the game. You know, just like flipping LaserJet. Oh, I'm going to get a refund on Isle of Wight. Okay, well, first off, how long have you played the route? Because after a certain point, you're not going to be able to get a. If you played for so many hours, you're not going to be able to get a refund. And so, but at the same time, there's enough content out there on Isle of Wight that you should be able to determine whether or not it's something that you were interested in even buying. You felt that you were interested enough in making that purchase, whether it was on sale or not. That's on you. Right, back to work, so speak to you soon, maybe. Yeah, definitely, Glenn. Thanks for hanging out for all this time. Greatly appreciate it. We'd be happy to chat with you again in the voice chat at some point. That was a lot of fun. We'll have some more laughs. For sure. Try not to work too hard, if you can. And if you have to work hard, well, at least the job's getting done. A little spot. Maybe because it's dark out. I can't find my little area where I normally hang out at on top of the locomotive. Sorry, I missed a bit. The missus was ringing. No worries. Just chatting. Nothing major. I'm going to tell a story tomorrow. That's what it is, Bithers. So yeah, once we get on the Schnallfest Strecke and do that regional express service in the 422, we'll have a bit of a story time tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a good laugh. It was nice to have everybody in today and hang out. Yeah, story time tomorrow. Story time. Yep, exactly. Exactly. some breakfast after this. I think I'll make some eggs. I made some eggs and corned beef hash yesterday for breakfast. It was good. Well, no, for brunch. It wasn't breakfast. It was brunch time, essentially. That was good. Let's get back into the... Well, you can't even see the back end of the train. Oh, there's the tracks. I'm looking for the little flashing light for the... Wow, yeah, you can hardly see anything. I don't see the... Or the train little flashing thing isn't working. Well, that's not good. Should be working in a pitch black environment like this. That's not good. We don't have the safety device at the very end of the train. It's not a story, it's a history lesson. You need your pen and paper at the ready. Well, I will try to talk a little bit about the cathedral there in Holm, but no, this is going to be a story about me personally, some silly things that I did when I was young. So yeah, if you want to call it a history lesson, yeah, to be a little bit of history of Rob. How about that? And if you want to write it down to have a laugh later on, you're more than welcome to. But we will have some history lessons when we get the Northeast Corridor, the Boston to Providence. We'll talk a little bit about that. I've got the book kind of detailing some of that history, so we'll talk a little bit about that. There you go, I told you. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about some of the history of the Cologne area. Well, we call it Cologne in America, but it's Holm in German. Wow, I feel like I barely fit underneath this these overpasses. All right, we are almost at our via point. We're getting there. Yeah, I try to make it interesting. Well, that's one of the things that I know Mick loves about my streams is I'll talk a little bit of history, and you know, that's what keeps him coming back. It's either that or my soothing voice. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the history of the... Uh-oh. Getting it buffering again. Alright, there we go. Whew. It's the voice. Well, as long as Mick keeps coming back, you make it interesting, there is a difference. Well, I appreciate that. I try. The internet's acting up today. I don't quite know why, but I know maybe part of it's just the weather that we've had. That. So once we get past this via point, we should have a green, or it'll switch to yellow if I remember correctly. Oh, come on. A history teacher. Well, I do like history. I do. You know, my friend in Vegas and I have had this discussion about history and everything, and you know, he's one of those. Well, how come not? You know, we're not learning all the history. Well, there's the reality is it's just not. It's not reasonable to expect everybody to want to learn all the history. You know. So yeah, it's just not everybody's going to want to do that. And what you may find, you may either be surprised or you may be disappointed, or you know, there's a lot of emotions involved in it. But I do like to learn history. You know, but it's not always. Some people may disagree with it. You know, I just present things as, you know, my own observations or my own research, whatever. And not everybody always appreciates that. You know, so. You know, I had my love of history. I think part of it was from my grandfather. You know, when we played Trivial Pursuit, we would just nobody would beat us. So yeah, yeah. I mean, history's important, but a lot of people don't always. See history for did I miss a signal, or did I get it time? I feel like we're stuck there. We go. But you find out history from other people that puts those missing parts. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history that I thought I knew when, you know, before I was stationed in Savannah. And I found a lot of things out that I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. I didn't think that would be, you know, I was told this. And you hear different points of view, kind of like what Dick said, yeah. So it does give you a wider perspective. And sometimes that troubles people. They prefer things to stick to only one side of the story. And that's not good. And you know, you have to do your research and decide for yourself what you know, what you're willing to hear. So I'll have to restart my router again, or which Wi-Fi. Might be a little bit overloaded right now. That's why we're getting all these. Since I have a good connection. At first we started off excellent, but I don't know. It might be just a little bit much on the Wi-Fi right now. I don't have a way of getting. What I should try to do, it'd be great. I love my little laptop, but it makes it difficult to try to watch two chats to make sure if anybody happens to pop into the, you know, the Twitch chat. I need a larger screen. If I could get, I'll have to do a little bit of rearranging and put the desktop computer over here near me. we're almost at the end here. So let's see. Let's take a look at the siding we're going into. We're going all the way there. Wow, I thought we were stopping back here. I guess not. All right. Yeah, I keep thinking we were stopping over here, but it's over there. So that's our, if we do these routes like this, that's our destination. I just got to remember that. Like the fort in Savannah, you walked around in the canyons. That were on show. Was it in that town? Yeah, the cannons. So there's that arsenal, the artillery. It's a very famous one from the south there. That yeah, it's got a lot of rich history. But yeah, stuff like that, like the fort thing, like a lot of that's just people take that stuff for granted in Savannah, or they don't. You know, they do have a lot of Civil War reenactors or Revolutionary War reenactors that do tours to kind of give people a sense of the history of the area. You know, like the old Candler Hospital there in Savannah near Forsyth Park, that treated soldiers from both sides of the war, of the Civil War. They were kept in different areas of the hospital for obvious reasons, but they treated both sides. There is a cemetery, unfortunately, that was desecrated by soldiers from the north who moved headstones and stuff from the cemetery, and they used it as a camping spot. And so the cemetery technically goes way across the street there. It's underneath this where the streets are now. But the headstones that they were able to collect up still after they've been moved, they're on a brick wall now. They had no idea where they were actually located, but they're still on display. But yeah, you know, stuff like that. You know, I was surprised to hear about that. Like, why would anybody go in and think that moving headstones and all that and turning it into a campsite for soldiers is a smart idea? You know, that's disrespectful. But they did that. You know. But the good thing about Savannah is they have all those markers. They talk about people, you know, like I had no idea that the woman who started the Girl Scouts, she was born in Savannah, and you could actually take a tour of her house where she grew up. You know, I had no idea. But the redoubtment, the recreation of that earthen, you know, defensive area for the Revolution, you know. It's cool that they have that so that you can see, you know, a bit of that history, you know, or hear about those 700 soldiers from the Revolution who were basically led to slaughter because their leadership just didn't do the right thing. I mean, why would you march all night and then figure, oh, let's go ahead and attack in the morning? Nobody's well rested, you know. That was like a really stupid idea. But they did it, and they paid the price for that ignorance. Be lost. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's things that people need to know. You have to understand, you know, like that it's terrible. Why would anybody go moving headstones in a graveyard? That's just, to me, it's disrespectful. Now, were those people ever held accountable for their actions? Probably not. You know, somebody made that decision. Some commanding officers thought it was a great idea. Didn't care that, you know, in any other situation that would be, you know, a huge disrespect, and, you know, just didn't care about it. You know, shame on him. Yeah. Shame on whoever that officer was that encouraged his soldiers to do that. But his name is lost to history. We don't know. I couldn't even begin to venture to guess who that person was. But you know, it's one of those things that's kind of lost in history that it in fact took place, and that it shouldn't be, you know, okay. You know, I didn't know about the Native American Tamachichi, who was a huge friend to the people who arrived in Savannah. They all worked together. You don't hear about that. And they have a memorial to him in one of the squares. You know, they felt that he was a great person and he should be honored for his friendship. Blame it on Glenn. Of course, when he's not here to defend himself. Yeah, in retrospect, if I had planned it better, and of course it was, you know, I would have loved to show you guys like Forsyth Park and like all the squares in that history. And I think I have, you know, I've got pictures of it from before. If you look on my Flickr, just look for Savannah stuff. I do have a picture of the monument to Tamachichi, amongst many others. You know, I've got pictures of it's always Glenn's fault. He gets the blame for everything. Ah, okay. All right, coming into our stopping area. There's not much leeway on the that red right there. I don't want to let Nick down and screw this up. Stop. There we go, right on the button. Ta-da. There we go. All right, we got our gold. All right, there it is. All right, so that's going to be it, everybody. Greatly appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Nice to see everybody here on this Thursday morning / afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow on Schnellfahrstrecke Köln Regional Express service and a bit of story time. That's going to be it. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest.